Hello students, welcome to the middle of winter. I'm William Spencer. I wanted to take a few moments and discuss some things I'm seeing in the course, some ideas and concepts that I wanted to pass along to you, some questions that have been asked to me in a very informal conversation here. So what I have some notes, so if I'm referring down, that's what I'm doing. Uh, Very quickly, great start to the semester. Can't complain whatsoever. Great start. The more that you converse with each other on the board, the less that I have to converse with you. And the goal is for me to guide and facilitate your conversations, not lead them. And you folks are doing a great job. Great job. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for that. Keep it up. So we're here in this research methods course, and it's often asked of me why do we need data? What does this element of data mean? How do we use it? And it's quite simple. Uh, the data informs the way we think. It provides us with justification for the decisions we make. And most importantly, it helps us allocate resources, be it time, people, money, ideas, energy, whatever it may be, towards a given problem. Now, there are three main research umbrellas, right? There's quantitative, and easiest way to remember it has an N in it. N equals numbers, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Qualitative has an L in it. Think language, talking to someone. And then there's mixed methods, and that's where we use a combination of the two. So what does this mean? Quantitative, in its most simplest forms, is that we are trying to prove something. I see a problem. I think this, your hypothesis, right? I think this. We run some type of experiment, we run some type of survey, we do something to bring in the data in so we can see it, and then we analyze the results. For example, we need to allocate resources to this area of the city because statistics show that 400 crimes a year are committed here. All right, great. So as a decision maker, you take that information and then you apply resources to it. Now, qualitative, on the other hand, is a little different. Qualitative, we're looking for deeper meaning. We're exploring something. We don't have any really preconceived idea on which way the results should be. So with qualitative, then, I would say, okay, well, why is there a crime there? Let's take a deeper look. Let's talk to people. Let's interview folks. Let's do some field observations and see what we can pick up on what's going on. And so that's the two biggies. Okay, and then there's subsets of how you look at these things. There are ways you can take a more holistic approach, and there's kind of um, instruments that you use to collect the data and all this stuff. And so I don't want to get you wrapped around the axle on that too much, but high level, those are the two high level themes. And I've seen it kind of be a little bit confused in the course already. And I want to lay that foundation right now that fundamentally they are different. Now, a mixed method approach, though, is that you use one or the other to help you triangulate what it is that you're doing, help you. I use a lot of qualitative research. I interview people to help me build my surveys because I find that's important. So that's how you do kind of a mixed methods. You meld the two together. The most important thing that I want to stress in here is that the research that you want to conduct, the problem that you have, the questions that you need answered, dictate the methods. It's not the other way around. Something that really frustrates me is I'm a quantitative researcher, but I want to find out deeper meaning about this, so I'm going to do a survey. You may be able to glean some perspectives, but the problem in the question dictates the methods. Okay, so make sure you keep that in mind. And both are equally good. I come from a school where I have had equal quantitative and qualitative courses. So qual, equal. Uh, it's real important to understand that. Question, problem, in terms of methods. We asked about decision-making methods. So I break it down into the two that I use. These are not by any means, way, shape, or form the best two, just the two that I use. And for my daily decision making, I use the acronym called SELF, and that stands for scrutiny, ensure compliance, leadership, and fairness. Basically, when I'm going through my decision making process on day-to-day activities, I scrutinize it. Does this make sense? Does this pass common sense? Does it fit what it is I'm trying to do? Is it going to give me problems? Is it not going to give me problems? Is it too? Yeah. So you kind of go through that, right? We do this on our daily lives. Ensure compliance with policies, procedures, laws. Because again, eventually, someday you're going to have to be justified. You're going to have to get out and justify why you made the decision that you made. And higher up the chain you go, you have people that would want that from a boss that would say, "Hey, why did you make that decision?" To congressional hearings that say, "Why did you allocate XYZ resources?" So you have to do that, and you have to have a methodology in place to justify your thought process. That's what we use the data to do, right? To the data to support our decisions. Second one is leadership. How does this affect the people that I'm responsible for? How does it affect my organization? If I make this decision, is it going to cause us problems? Things like that. There are times when I say causes problems, there are times that it doesn't mean conflict, but it does mean problems. So what I'm saying is this an unethical decision? Is it an issue with morality? Is it something that's going to jam us up and cause a lot of negative press or undue negative press? Things like that. So you got to kind of think of it that way. And then lastly is fairness. In my career, I predominantly work in Homeland Security and Emergency Management. So we're consistently allocating resources towards things. So is it fair to allocate this resource to this demographic versus here if I had to choose? And I have to weigh all those out and I had to justify all those. And so that's kind of what we do. So again, no right or wrong model. You just pick one that you're comfortable with and you start working through that. Lastly, when I have a project that's going on, I like the old model called SMART. Is the objective specific? Is it measurable? Is it attainable? Is it realistic? Do I have the time to do it? SMART. And we apply this from everything from very simple tasks to multi-million-dollar projects to operations. And if you can kind of keep those two in your head, one is more for yourself as an individual, the other one is more for your projects and things that you're doing, I think you'll be okay. But remember, the data is, which is plural for data, it supports your decision-making process. It supports why we allocate resources where we do. It supports the decision you made. So if somebody questions you, you can say, "Sir or ma'am, I did it this way because I went down through these steps in my mind, and this was the rationale and the justification for it." So in 2020 hindsight, with all that benefit that you may have, I didn't have that at the time that I made the decision that I made. So given the resources that were available to me, the information I presented, this is the decision we made. It was not made blindly. It was not made without due diligence and thought. So I just wanted to share those real quickly with you, just a few things that you're focusing on. Like I said, Doing great. Doing great. I'll touch back with you here in a couple weeks via video. Always feel free to reach out to me. Some of you have texted me and stuff. That's great. Please do that. And I hope you have a great rest of the semester. All right. Take care. Bye.